Yes, so I'm just gonna troll now. And I'm gonna troll, so let's see. Toxic masculinity, how to not be. I didn't even type it right, but who cares? Let's have a look. Let's see if they can explain us how to not be toxically masculine. Please explain it to me because I want to make sure, that I'm not. Yeah. So, a toxic masculinity. I'm just going to read the headers because, guys, I had a look. People ask, wait, how to overcome? Ooh, wow, this must be a PhD. How to overcome toxic masculinity? What causes toxic? Can't even read it. Masculinity. I'm gonna click it, but at this point, I'm gonna say a penis because I've never heard anyone complain about transgender men being toxic masculine. Have you ever heard of that? So I'm considering that, it's not a thorough investigation, I'll say it, but what makes people become toxic? I had a couple of thoughts. Man, I can't say it. They're going to demonetize it, so read my mind. How do I stop my own toxic behavior? Get off the internet, touch grass, and stop. Yeah. Let me see. Reddit. We're going to click it. Push your boundaries. Get a manicure. I need a visual representation of that. Guys, if at any moment you feel like you're struggling with toxic masculinity, here's the solution for you. You ready? You ready, guys? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom! You're not toxic anymore. Look at the little smiley. Actually, the smiley face is kind of based. I'll give him that. Wow. Is it okay for men to get a manicure? We say definitely yes. A manicure, sure, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm never ever gonna paint my nails, okay? I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. If you wanna do it, I'm not gonna make fun of you. Paint your nails away, freedom, I say. Me, never gonna happen. Maybe the only way I could see it is if you are like really, kind of heavy metal, hard rock. I can see that. Possibly emo. I can see that, but otherwise, I'm not doing it. But at least a manicure, guys, that's a solution. Years and years of studies, millions of dollars into higher education to tell us that all you needed to do was to get a manicure and you're not toxic anymore when it comes to John Bon Zombie. Good to have you here. Thank you. Let's continue the trolling, please, because I'm not done. So anyways, do not be toxic as a masculine man. You need to push your boundaries, get a manicure, order a cosmopolitan at the bar. This gotta be comedy. Please tell me they're not serious. Ask people how their day was and encourage them to vent. Oh my gosh. This is men we're talking about, right? Encourage them to vent. Ask people how their day was. What? This is like every person on the planet. Hey, how was your day? Let's continue. Breaking the mold. 7 strategies to combat toxic masculinity. Practice like journaling. Therapy. I do need therapy after reading all of this. I absolutely need professional help. Or simply talking openly with friends can help break down the barriers that toxic masculinity erects. You did not choose that. Define erects. Around vulnerability. Yeah, that's exactly what women want. Women want men to be vulnerable and cry. Am I right? Particularly when there is another guy who's messing with you and I need to be vulnerable. I don't know what to do. That's what women want, am I right? Toxic masculinity, effects and healing. This is strangely sounding like a disease that is being cured. Toxic masculinity affects how we support men and boys. Enforcing toughness or silence tells them not to open up. Define open up. Read more on healing from, Psychology Today, a powerful non-toxic masculinity. Men's relationship can offer opportunity to be attentive and protective. Right, but when men want to be protective towards women, you call that toxic masculinity, don't you? No, I mean, I'm all for protective men. I support that. I think it's a duty. If a woman is in trouble and it's your woman, even if it's not your woman at this point, but if it's your woman, even more so, and she's in trouble, you don't do anything, you're not a man. But look, first thing, Facebook, feminist news, women do not want, nor are we asking for men to protect us. Women in chat, I'm going to ask you right now, because here I'm seeing a little bit of trouble in paradise. I'm seeing a little bit of, illogical lack of consecutio. Logical, Would you like a man to protect you if you're having trouble with, for instance, gangs in England? Well, apparently, according to feminist news, no. But then again, I'm asking because I'm starting to get a little confused here. Yes, if we are supposed to be attentive and protective, but at the same time, we don't need no man when it comes to protection, I'm starting to get a little confused. I absolutely want my man to protect me. Thank you, random person 6433. Psychology today. You need psychological evaluation for whoever wrote this without the toxic overtones of power and control. Okay, I had a thought came to my mind, but I want to keep this open for all ages, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Overcoming toxic masculinity. Practice being understanding. When someone is upset, take a step back. Take a deep breath and try to see it from their perspective. Wait, so let me try to be a non-toxic masculine man. All right, so if you're upset, okay, so you're upset. Instead, if you're a guy, by the way, and you're upset, I would say, "What's wrong, bro?" And if you're a woman and you're upset, I would be. I'm not gonna. We'll get back to that. Which is exactly what I would say. I will get back to that, because do not argue with a woman who is upset. You gotta wait until she cools down and then you talk. Because if you try to talk while she's upset, logic is not gonna work. Anything you say is gonna be wrong. So that is just my advice. Anyways, if it's a guy, I'm gonna say, "Bro, what's wrong? What is it, bro? What is it, bro?" So, what they want me to do in order to be a masculine man, but not toxic, is this. You're upset, and I go, so, and then I need to be understand it and see it from their perspective. By the way, seeing it from someone else's perspective is a very good thing to do, which is why it's always good. In my opinion, if you're both mad, do take a step back, not in the way they are imagining it, to be like, but I mean, if you are angry and the situation is escalating, just stop. It's not like you're not achieving anything. As a kind of relationship advice, just stop, take a step back. Be like, it's fine. We'll talk about it later, and we'll talk about it later. And then we can have, because whatever. But anyways, I gotta continue this because I'm learning a lot. I'm trying to overcome my toxic masculinity. Can you stop super chatting me? You stop covering me with money, thereby enabling my toxic masculinity. Calm down, Makarev. They should create a new nation somewhere with volunteers for women only, a real matriarchy without any help from men. Oh, good luck with that. Hell, make it a communist country too, so how far they go. Yeah, no, brother, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just how it is. Toxic masculinity. What is it? How can we stop it? Talk about what upset him and talk about how he successfully resolved the situation. Who's he? Practice coping skills. No, you don't want to cope. Stop coping, I would say. And reaffirm the notion that all emotions are okay. Dr. Bethany Cook. Why do I know what she looks like? A masterclass in toxic masculinity. Focus on your own emotional well-being and reach out to others you might have hurt while exhibiting toxically masculine behavior. Oh, I need you to define those toxic masculine behavior, because up to 15 seconds ago we just found out that if your woman is being attacked by two drunk meth heads in the middle of the street, I need to take a step back, do this, and then go get a manicure, and absolutely not try to be like, Second Amendment right, double tap center of mass, right? Or at least, if they're not threatening that way, if they're just talking, don't do that. I'm saying if they're being, you know what I mean. But if they are like talking, you talk back and then you leave. Bro, that's my woman. You don't talk to my woman like that. That's what a man says. No, you need to be like To combat toxic masculinity, says Public Discourse, the APA suggests teaching boys to express their emotions and insecurities more openly. This would make men happier. Oh, God. What's the alternative to toxic masculinity, ladies and gentlemen? Later, we're going to learn from Elliot Page, by the way. Key takeaways: toxic masculinity isolates men from their emotions and relationship, while positive masculinity encourages vulnerability. I swear, at this point, it's so funny, because when I read these, when I read this. I might read a little more. I might see what AI says, actually, because I'm curious to see what Skynet thinks before Judgment Day. Because, I mean, if there is one thing that the Terminators want, is for men to be less aggressive, less defensive, less protective, to kneel down, bend the knee, and so that they don't have to waste as much material producing T800 models and then T1000 liquid metal models to deal with those men that are going to defend their families and women and children. So I can see why. Ooh, this is actually a very good point. I'm expecting AI to support that. Am I right? Let's see. AI review. Stopping toxic masculinity requires unlearning harmful societal conditioning by fostering emotional vulnerability, practicing empathy. Bro, empathy has nothing to do with it. You can be masculine and empathetic. No wonder, I'm gonna say it, no wonder Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace in heaven with God and Jesus. No wonder the guy said, empathy is a bad word. I don't like the word empathy. And then everyone cut that clip without showing the rest. Cut that clip and said, see, he says being empathetic is bad. No, if they let it play, because I checked. If you let it play, what he said is that people co-opted, they took this word and turned it into something that it isn't. Being empathetic just means that you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their pain and have a feeling, compassion towards them. In fact, he even said he liked the word compassion more. But he said that people are using this. You need to be empathetic. You need to be empathetic towards what? The grapists that get 250,000 girls? That's exactly what they mean. Hence, they are poisoning good words. The feeling is fine, and in fact, Charlie Kirk had nothing against the feeling. It's just they didn't like the way the word was co-opted, but people cut it and say, look, he hates being empathetic, so I'm not going to be empathetic to his family. But that's what it is, practicing empathy and challenging patriarchal norms in everyday interactions. Dismantling these rigid stereotypes creates safer, healthier environments for everyone. And of course, AI is quoting Reddit, of all places, Reddit. Seriously, that was your first choice? Terminator Model T800 with synthetic skin over metallic endoskeleton? Really? Reddit for individuals. Embrace emotional vulnerability. Yeah, anxiety, sadness. Okay. Reevaluate self-talk. Also, they want us to talk to each other, to completely go mad. Remove derogatory slang from your vocabulary. And, okay, so I knew it. We're back to language policing. Language policing. We are so cooked. We are cooked. And look, guys, this is insane. Build diverse friendships. What does that have anything to do with combating toxic masculinity? Well, can I not be toxically masculine if I have a bunch of friends who are, I guess, non-whites, who are also toxically I don't get it. Form deep non-sexual friendships with women to challenge objectification and view them as equal individuals. We are equal in value, but we're not equal in the way we express that value. Like this idea, and there are, before you don't you even try to gaslight me, because there are articles that deny biological reality, meaning the effects of sexual dimorphism between genders. It's true. Women excel at some things, men excel at other things. It's just how it is. That's why I say we are equal in value from a Christian perspective, because we are souls, we're all children of God. From a biological perspective, it's kind of difficult, because I can understand how, for instance, it's not a good idea to be, we're all the same, and then you send women to war, and then they die instead of men. No, it's better that men go to war. Not only because, in ancient times, men on average have higher upper body strength. It is what it is. We are better at war. We are more aggressive. It doesn't mean that you can't have the occasional MMA girl that is like, she's really good at fighting. Of course, that's the exception to the rule. But in general, that's how it's always been. Men were the better hunters when it comes to dangerous game. But women were really good at foraging or dealing with less dangerous game. And then, we divided our roles in a way that made sense logically, because believe it or not, people in the Paleolithic were more logical than people today denying biological reality. The fact is, though, that it's actually very stupid at a societal level for any given population cluster to send your women to war. Because if you send your women to war and then they die, because people die in war, they do. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And if it's one of those where the opposing tribe is stronger, it's better, it's faster, they are more vicious, and they take you all out, so you lose the battle, terrible. And we know there are mass graves, enormous numbers that belong to like the Mesolithic period or the Neolithic period, mass graves with skeletons, like terrible, terrible warfare. Some of the most ancient archaeological findings when it comes to organized warfare are prehistoric. We've been doing this for like always, forever. Since the beginning of our species, we've been killing each other. So, but if the problem is if that's a lot of women, and then what's left in the tribe at home? What's left? You've left like you now have 9 men per every woman. Well, good luck repopulating because you can have 9 men having sex with that single woman. She's still gonna deliver one baby every 9 months. Alternatively, if you have a lot of women and less men, you can repopulate more easily. This is a biological truth. I personally don't like to just look at it in biological terms of utility because it kind of dehumanizes. So I prefer to think we're all equal in value. But there is no way that, like, it is what it is. Men are optimized for combat. It's how it is, and hunting. But women are optimized for plenty of other tasks that they excel at, and that's just how it is. But AI, I think, disagrees. Thank you, Joe, for the support. Hello, Raffaello. Just want to thank you for dissing Nolan. Oh, my friend, I'm never gonna stop. I agree and understand my Greek bros. Imagine Nolan cast black guy for Zawiza the Black, greatest Polish knight, famous for and vice versa, and vice versa. It's a this is why we will never lose those debates, and they will always have to result to call us racists because they have nothing else. Because the moment you say right, but I'm against race swapping a historical black character and casting by casting white people, I mean that's wrong, right? And they have to tell you, yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen. Great, and then why do you don't have a problem? You call me racist if you race swap the other way around. It's just they can never win that one. Seek professional help. Yeah, you need to seek professional help. Whoever wrote this article, because I mean, it's AI, but AI picks it from, in this case, anxiety and depression, whatever. Address the psychological effects of harmful gender roles. Harmful gender roles by utilizing resources like the anxiety, depression. This is so insane. I'm going to stop with the toxic masculinity now. We're going to move to something else. But I just want to say this. I get it that traditional gender roles are deeply rooted in biology and culture. Now, the cultural aspect of gender roles can differ from culture to culture. That part, absolutely. That one is not, it doesn't have to be the same in every population because it isn't. It changes because culture changes, right? But the biological basis of it, that one is the same because humans are all the same throughout the entirety of the globe. So, I'm not saying that every human being has to follow the exact types of gender roles, meaning the woman stays home to raise the family and the man goes to work. This is the general normal meaning the most typical, right, throughout the entirety of society. My wife loves that. She loves being a trad wife. I work. She doesn't have to work. She minds the baby. She loves it. I love it. Great. We're happy. So it's not destructive or harmful if we're both happy. But maybe you specifically, you're a woman and you're like, no, I have a passion. I want to do lab work and research. You do not want to get married. It's your choice. It's fine. No one is trying to tell you, or at least I know there are people that are trying to shame you for it, and I don't support that because I support freedom. If you try to demonize what's been normal for thousands of years of civilization, then I'm going to have a problem with you. And that's really as simple as it gets. Let me check super chats and then we move to the next. Thank you for the support, General. I appreciate that. The no Nolan zone, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they will never make white Shaka Zulu because it's unidirectional. We know that. We know it. Empathy just means that you can understand how someone feels because you felt it too. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, true. I can see that. And sometimes you can also try to put yourself in someone else's shoes as much as you can, even though you haven't gone through that kind of pain. But in general, sure, yeah. And then you were saying, let me see. Oh, good, I missed the fake Achilles beat. No, not yet. You haven't met it. You haven't met facts. Yeah, thank you, Chaotic. Appreciate. No, I do appreciate facts on this channel. What can I say? The no Nolan zone. I love that. Yeah, I love it. We need a crusade. Yeah, indeed, we need a crusade in Nigeria. I'm gonna leave it at that. But if the Pope was based, but he's not. Sorry to say. Sorry to say.
If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.